Ali here with MindWave Meditation, and this video may well blow your mind. So what we're talking about in this video, we're talking about awareness. Now, awareness doesn't always sound so attractive, but what we're talking about is this mass awakening that people are having. If you don't like the word awakening, we could call it a shift, a mass shift that's happening, which is definitely evident all around. People have time to themselves, people are looking into things, people are following old leads or passions that they used to love, rethinking the jobs that they do, the lives that they're living. Stuff's happening. That's not really in question. What is in question though is how we navigate our experience of life right now. How do we go into this new world that's appearing, and where do we go from here? So what is awareness? Awareness is the first stage, the first key to change in your life. And it's really simple. So just bear with me. If you watch the end of this video, you are going to see life different. You're going to see your world in a whole different way. And it's ridiculously exciting. So let's dive right into it. But before we do, hit the big four. Please like, please comment, please subscribe and share this video if it resonates with you. That's your good deed for the day. It helps you feel good, and it helps me bump this channel up into the YouTube world and get it shared and more visible to others that might need it. So let's dive right in to awareness. Okay, so what's happening? Awareness. Awareness is kind of split into two things, and once you master this, life profoundly changes for the better. So we can look at it like this: awareness of self, so whatever you are, whatever you think of yourself, your emotions, your sensations, how you feel about others, how you feel about what you do, how you feel about life, what you think about life, everything that's self. That's one step to awareness. The second step is awareness of life, awareness of existence. So when we break it down and look at it like this: awareness of self, awareness of life. That might go way over your head, but don't worry, we'll break it down. All that means is that you're waking up every morning and you're going about your day, but what you're doing by entertaining this thought of awareness is, instead of just going through the motions, the same cup for your morning cup of tea, the same hand you brush your teeth with, the same way you open the door, the same way you touch your alarm, the same route you go to work, the same morning, all right, to your neighbor. Instead of just automatically going through these motions, we realize that we are in a kind of autopilot. We have created a code for ourselves that we do day in, day out. And with the power of awareness, we can see this from a separate perspective and go, oh, okay, this is what I do day in, day out. So what we can do is we can use the simple word of awareness to separate ourselves. So what that means is, when you wake up in the morning, instead of just going through the motions like you do, become conscious of what you're doing. Now, you just carry on doing what you're doing. You don't have to change anything, but just see what you're doing. Notice the feelings that you're having, the emotions that you're having, the thoughts that you're having. And what that looks like is, I like to do it like this: if you kind of separate yourself and watch your mind, imagine your mind is in here. Watch what's happening in your mind. If you start thinking, I'm hungry, or I need something, or I've got to do something, is that you, or is that your mind thinking about that? Do you know what I mean? So there's two things happening: awareness of self and awareness of life, awareness of consciousness. So This means that if you suddenly get some bad news, or you just wake up feeling crap, that doesn't have to ruin your whole entire day. You don't have to go, I am depressed, I am not feeling good, life is crap, you know, XYZ. Life may well be crap right now. You might feel depressed, you might feel unhappy, you might have had some bad news. That's just what is, and that's unfortunate, and my deepest sympathy and compassion for you and everyone else watching this channel. If you're feeling good, you know that people aren't always feeling good, so they're sending you their good thoughts too. But what you can do is you can realize that it doesn't have to be like that. Your life doesn't have to be one thing. So you can wake up and on the wrong side of the bed, as they say, and you can feel crap. And if you don't use the tool of awareness, you could feel crap all day long, and it'll be like a domino effect. You know, you stub your toe, the pain, and then you feel bad, you feel emotionally in a terrible state, so then that controls the next thought, and then you go down a downward spiral. It is like a domino effect. So if you wake up in the morning, check in to how you're feeling before you get out of bed, because that's going to dictate how the rest of your day goes, most likely. So what you can do is remember this word awareness. I'm going to keep doing this so it sinks in. So you wake up and go, oh, awareness. Use this word awareness and check into how you feel. So this is where we're going to use the heart space. Okay, so if that's a bit too hippie for you, just think about your literal heart. Check in to your heart in the morning. Each morning, wake up, and before you go up here and think about all the to-dos of your day, all the things you've got to do, all the things you've done, tune in to your heart. I can't see my heart. Here we go. Tune into the heart. And what I want you to do is just go, do it with me. One more time. Now, I'm not asking you to suddenly jump out of bed and go, yes, the day's amazing. You totally can do that. But what I'm asking you to do is just tune in to your heart and see this heart as like your anchor. So no matter what is happening in your day, or however you feel when you wake up, you reset by tuning into your heart and just being aware that you are a body going through a life situation. So there's two things happening. You are a body with emotions and feelings and thoughts and desires and problems and all the rest of it. And then there's life. Life is happening all the time. There's other people doing, you know, there's everybody else's story. So these two things meet. Your body and mind and being meets life every day as soon as you consciously wake up. And if you know that this is one thing and this is another, ultimately it's all the same. But if you know there's two things going on here, and you can use the word awareness to understand these two things, life just falls into place. Life dramatically, profoundly shifts, usually in your favor. So what this looks like is awareness of self, awareness of life. So let's start with awareness of self. Your emotions, how you feel about the day, how you feel about yourself, how you feel about others, the sensations you feel, oh, I need this, I want this. All of that is valid. It's valid to you. It's real. Your feelings are real and your thoughts are real, but they don't have to control you. They just are flowing through just like a stream, and they come and go. And what a lot of us do is we attach to them and we hold on to them. And sometimes we even go as far as claiming that we are them. So you are whatever you say after I am. That's you making a statement. I am depressed. I am cynical. I'm a pessimist. That's you making a statement that you are. So let me just pop that bubble for you right now. You are not any of these things. You are just claiming to be them in this moment. So let's say you're a pessimist, and you say, oh, that's just the way I am. It's not true. It's you know better than anyone that you've been optimistic at points. You've had great times, you've had happy times, you've had happy moments. So you might just have had, in your mind, pessimistic thoughts happen on a regular basis. Negativity, is a kind of a constant. It doesn't mean that you are that person. It's just that it's happened so many times that you've familiarized yourself with it and you've made it a negative habit. So using the word awareness, be aware that every time you wake up, it's like a fresh, complete blank slate. You are not the person you were when you went to sleep. Life is always in a constant state of change. So every time your head lifts off the pillow, you have everything you need and you are a blank canvas. So use the word I am to decide what you are in that moment. I am ready for a brand new day. Bring it on. I am feeling good today. Start smaller. I am alive. I am grateful. That is probably the best thing you could possibly say to yourself in the morning. So this is the solution. Let's start with awareness. Every single morning we wake up and realize that we are programmed to do the same things that we did yesterday. If you want to change your life and your experience, use awareness to notice yourself in the moment repeating cycles. Some of them might be positive, some of them might be negative, but when you use awareness to catch these habits, that's when you can start sort of making changes. So how we do this is simply just by practicing being aware of who we are in the world. What we think about, what we're watching, what we're eating, what we're thinking, how we're feeling. This doesn't have to be an overwhelming experience. Just simply, every day, turn it on. I use little symbols or little reminders or... Oh, here we go. So you can use symbols, reminders, affirmations, anything. Plaster them all over the place if you want. Just anything to remind you about this concept. Even use the word awareness, write it out and put it somewhere where you can see it. And it's just a simple case of reminding yourself about this concept of awareness. And as soon as you start to notice your habits, that's when you separate yourself and you become the watcher, the observer, the witness of your thoughts and yourself. This is when life gets super, super cool, interesting, fun, and way better than it was before you knew this concept. So every day become the watcher, the witness, the observer of your thoughts. Just watch yourself going through the motions like you were watching yourself in a film. If you watch the Zen bathroom, I think it's over there, we talk about this in a bit more detail, and we use the bathroom as a place where there's no thought and you separate yourself from the outside world so you can practice this state of awareness. The solution really here is to meditate. Now, we'll talk about that in a second, but ultimately, meditation is everything. You can walk down the street and meditate. You can eat and meditate. You can just meditate while you're living. Meditation doesn't have to be sitting like this for hours and hours on end. You can do walking meditation. You can walk for 20 seconds and meditate. You can meditation is everything. Use this awareness in your day. Be aware of yourself, your thoughts, your actions, your feelings, what you're saying to people, what you're thinking, what you're watching, what you're consuming, what you're eating. Just be aware of everything and without any judgment. Don't think, oh my God, look at my life, what am I doing? Or even think, oh, I'm crushing it, check me out. I'm just like so aware and so tuned in. Just be aware of everything that you're thinking up here and everything that you're seeing and doing. And that's your first stage, that's your first step. And it's a huge step as well. It's one of the most profound steps on this journey that we're taking together. So the solution, Self-awareness, awareness of life. These two things every day, just be aware of what you're doing and how you're living. The big two things I hear more than anything in the world is, I don't have time to meditate, and also I can't meditate, I can't stop the thoughts, I've got too many thoughts, it's just constant. Like, I've tried to meditate, I've tried to do this stuff, and it's just I get it. I was that person too. I didn't understand meditation. I didn't understand why you meditate. I knew it was probably good, but I didn't know why I'd do that every day. Can't stop the thoughts. No, you can't. You can't stop the thoughts. You're right, it's true. You don't stop thoughts. Thoughts, we should embrace the fact that we have these amazing thoughts. Thoughts are for thinking, taking imaginations and creating things out of them. We don't want to stop the thoughts. So first of all, the statement is wrong. Let's forget about it, let's wipe that clean. But what we can do is quiet the mind. Quieten the mind? But what we can do is calm the mind. And the more you practice calming the mind and calming the body, the less these thoughts become overwhelming and constant. What you start to realize is the more you practice this, especially meditation, it's like if I threw some pebbles out into this pond, it would create a ripple, and the ducks would swim towards it and then go, ooh, nope. They'd see the danger and they'd swim away. If I carried on throwing this pebble, the ducks would get the message and they'd just stay away. The ducks are the same as thoughts. If we constantly practice this awareness, then eventually the thoughts, which are always still there, will just kind of go and go away. And they'll come and they'll go, and they'll come and they'll go. And this awareness bubble that you can kind of create is almost becomes like your secretary for your thoughts. So I find now that I hear all these noises, which you might hear, which might sound really full on, and I've just tuned out of them because I'm concentrating on you, only you, and what we're talking about. And all these background noises, they're irrelevant to me. I don't need them right now. So therefore, when I hear them, it just kind of goes like that. And that is a really beautiful, profound experience. You know, I hear people shouting in the street or at the gym, and they're slamming the door and going, oh God, forgot my shorts. Oh, or a conversation that they've had. And it's so interesting when you kind of become aware, when you're aware of awareness, or however you want to frame it. You see the people that are still unconscious and going through life unconsciously. If you're slamming a door and reciting something that happened in your day with no consideration for people around you and how your words will affect them, you know, that's generally what most people do, especially in London in the streets. You have a filter that stops those thoughts and go, and you internalize them, and then you don't let them leave your mouth. We all have these thoughts, bad thoughts and good thoughts, and you know, we in our mind we have these constant dialogue and commentary going. But if we don't have the filter, that's when you've slipped from being conscious to unconscious, and you're just, you know, if you're reacting to a message you don't like and just going bah, 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 you're unconsciously reacting. So it's simply a case of being conscious and unconscious. And the way we do this is using the word awareness. So comment down below awareness. If you feel like you're conscious and you're getting this concept and you're enjoying this and it's making sense, type in awareness, and then we know who's on board, who's going to give this a go, and who's going to continue this amazing way of living life. It's so much more enjoyable to consciously live. Then you start consciously thinking about what you're eating, what you're drinking, what you're thinking, what you're doing, what you're saying, how you're living, how you're feeling, and how you want to live your day as well. Okay, so we can't stop the thoughts, you're right, we can't. But what we can do is we can calm the mind by practicing this awareness. And It's very simple and it'll happen very quickly. In fact, it could change your life today. If you do this right now, your life might completely, profoundly change. When the penny dropped for me, I never stopped practicing this, and it's just a case of catching the times when you're unconscious. So you flip life. If you're going through life and everything's just happening to you, and why me and why is it happening, all you need to do is flip the scenario, flip the perspective of life to life is happening, I am a person in life, I'm aware of this, and I can choose what I think and do and say and feel. So the second thing is I don't have time. You do have time. I'm sorry, you're wrong. Your opinion is wrong. It's hard to hear because you might be super busy, and I completely respect that. And but like I said before, I have friends that run multiple companies with families, and they do it very well, and they make time for all of it. It's time management. It's these two words, time management, which is the rub. And it's a case of, if you really don't have time and your whole day is packed, then can you go to bed slightly earlier and get up slightly earlier? My alarm goes at 5:30, and I try and get everything done by about 8 o'clock. 6:30, 7:30, we've got 2.5 hours of just time purely to myself to do stuff like this. I haven't got time to go and make YouTube videos unless I make time, carve out that time, which I love to do, so I'm doing it. So time management is the key. If you really don't have time, look at your life, write everything down, and see where you're spending maybe 20 minutes scrolling on Facebook or Instagram, or watching something that maybe isn't feeding your consciousness and it's not serving you. So it's a case of just rearranging life. And if you need help, give me a shout. I do a free consultation call to help people organize this stuff. But what I'd ultimately like to offer you is to meditate, which I teach. And I'm just gonna not give you a big pitch on this, but just tell you that I learned this technique. It's the most enjoyable thing in my day. When you meditate and you know how to do it properly, it's amazingly euphoric, joyful, beautiful. You enter a world of boundless energy, and you separate yourself so much so that you become nobody in no time, in no space, nowhere. It's so enjoyable because you separate yourself so much so using this technique that the world around you disappears, it dissolves. And only momentarily, because you're going to come back. But it feels so amazing and euphoric that you can transcend pain, you can transcend your worries, doubts, fears, and in that space you feel joy, love, confidence, freedom, happiness, peace. And what you basically do is you go inwards and you separate yourself from the outside world. You cultivate these feelings of joy, peace, and happiness for a short amount of time. And then when you come back into reality like this, you take those feelings with you of joy, peace, happiness, clarity, focus, confidence. The list literally goes on. And you notice that what you went into your meditation with, the doubts, the fears, the worries, the pain, the frustrations, they lessen every single time. So people ask me like, oh, do you meditate every day? Yeah. Yeah, of course I do. Because once you've learned and you've felt how amazing it feels, there's no way you wouldn't keep doing it. It's like if you like beer and you find the perfect pint, it's just so enjoyable that there's just no way I'm not gonna do it. Now I know how to do it. It's like, imagine if brushing your teeth felt absolutely amazing, like more amazing than anything you felt in the world. Your teeth are clean, you feel good because you've got nice white teeth, but also it's the best feeling in the entire world. You're gonna brush your teeth at least twice a day. So If you'd like to meditate, give me a shout. There's a link down below. Familiarize yourself with the simple concepts of meditation, and we'll go from there. So practice awareness, comment down below and write awareness, and let's try and get as many awarenesses on the comments. And don't forget to like, comment, share, hit the bell notification, and subscribe to the channel if you like this content and you want to hear more of this stuff. We're going to go way down and deep into all this stuff. It's going to be awesome. Your life will start to really transform, and I can't wait to take this journey with you and hear about your progress and the benefits you're receiving. So I'll see you on the other side, and have the greatest of days, and enjoy this new world, this new life that you're just about to embark on. Peace.